Hello, I'm Pat Hansen, Director of Sales for Lee Tennis Court Products. We're here at Lee Tennis's manufacturing facility just outside of Charlottesville, Virginia on what is a very new Har-Tru Court. And today this video is designed to teach you how to install a court-made shoe cleaner. And the court-made shoe cleaner, as you can see here, is probably one of the best shoe cleaners we have. It's designed to be installed directly into your court surface, so players can walk across it and scrape off the soles of their shoes and knock any loose granular material into the space below. It's really a terrific shoe cleaner, and it's a must-have to prevent material from being tracked onto your walkways, into your pro shops, into people's cars and their homes. And it's really very convenient because once it's in the court surface, players will naturally walk across it and find it there to clean their feet. The Court Maid is made up of 8 rows of 1/2 inch tall coarse bristles installed on a plastic grate. When players walk across it, they'll scrape the soles of their shoes here, and the material will fall through the openings in the grate. The grate is housed inside a 20 inch by 15 inch steel frame, and that frame is 4 inches deep, so that'll be recessed in your court 4 inches. The grate is also removable, so that when the material falls in, it can periodically be cleaned out. The nice thing about that is that the material that's tracked out on the soles of players' shoes is still good material. So when you pull it out of the Court Maid, it can be taken and redistributed on the court surface. Okay, a few tools you're going to need for this installation. You're going to want to have a lute scarifier. You're going to want to have a level. You're going to want to have a couple of digging shovels to be able to get into the court surface, a tamper to reapply screenings and Har-Tru, a tape measure, a screwdriver, and a razor blade. For our purposes, we're going to install the Court Maid here just a little off center, close to one of these fence posts, so that it provides a good spot for people to hold on to while they clean their feet. It's going to be installed approximately 6 inches off the curb, and I'm going to use this screwdriver to mark the exact point on the court surface. Once I have that marked, I'm going to be excavating 2 or 3 inches outside that mark in order to give myself room to get the Court Maid in, and then I can backfill to the unit. I'm getting ready to dig into the court surface, and an important note of caution: you want to be careful whenever you're digging into your tennis court. You can't really damage the court at all, but there are very often things that are buried in your court that you can damage. For instance, this is a Har-Tru court. It has a plastic liner below it, and I want to be careful that I'm not puncturing the liner. Some Har-Tru courts have geotextile fabric in it as well. Some courts have different designs of irrigation systems. They might have the pipes near the curb. That would be quite common. Make sure you dig carefully and make sure you're aware of what's in the area where you want to install the Court Maid before you just start going into your court surface. Okay, I'm going to start digging my hole here, and I'm going to start approximately 2 inches outside the mark that I've created. And the Har-Tru layer is approximately 1 inch thick, so I'm going to try to use my shovel to go down 1 inch all the way around, and then scoop just that 1 inch of Har-Tru surface up and lay it off on the side. So now I've taken the 1 inch of Har-Tru off. I'm going to go ahead now and dig down into the base layers of the court. And I need to go down 4 inches so that I can lay the Court Maid in fully recessed and have it even with the top of my court. It's a good idea to try to get your sides as straight as possible so that makes it easier to install the Court Maid and to tamp up to it with new material. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tamp the remaining base material. I've loosened it up with the shovel, so it's important that I tamp it in real well so that when I install the Court Maid, it has a solid foundation. Okay, I've put the court made inside the hole I've created, and now I want to see how well I've done in terms of getting it level with the court surface. So you can either have a long level or a long straight edge of one form or another. And I'm going to lay it down. As you can see here, it's sitting nice and flush with the court surface. I'm going to try the other end. And as we look at the other end here, we can see it's still a bit high. So I'm going to need to dig down the front end just a bit in order to get it level with the court surface on this side. Good. Okay, we're going to set this back in here again. And then we'll once again use our level. Test in the back. Still looking good here. Test in the front. And now we're level with the court surface. Okay, we're ready to fill back in around the court made now. And remember, we separate into two piles. We have our surface material mixed with some base material, and then we have just our base materials. I want to use the base materials initially to fill in around the court made until I get within 1 inch of the existing court surface. Alright, now that I've filled in around the edges as best I could, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the tamper, and I'm going to work to tamp those materials in. It's a good idea to stand on the unit while you're doing this to keep it in place and allow the material to pack in well around it. Got just as you can see, we've got a little too much material here. We want to be down about even where the material is on this edge, so I'm going to take off just a little bit from this side and get down just about 1 inch below the top of the curb, and that's going to allow me to fill in that area with Hydroblend so that I have the same top surfacing I have over here in the rest of the court. Okay, so I've got the screening material tamped down about 1 inch below the court surface, all around the court made. Now I'm just going to clear this area adjacent to it, scrape off the existing screenings. And now I'm ready to fill in the rest of the area with Hydroblend. Okay, in order to fill in with Hydroblend, the first thing I'm going to do is take the grate off, and I'm going to set it to one side. I've got my bag of Hydroblend here, and rather than dumping the whole thing out, I'm just going to open it so that I can get at it with the shovel and shovel the exact amount that I need into place. Okay. Notice that this material is nice and dry right out of the bag. It's going to make it easier to work with. I'm going to dump it right out here and fill in slowly into the low areas. If you don't happen to have a spare bag of material, you can likely use the existing material that you took off, but it might just have some screenings in it and require a little bit extra work. Notice that I'm putting in the material higher than I need to, because when I compact it, it'll go down probably about 1/4 of an inch as it tightens up. And I'd rather have too much material to compact than too little. Okay, now I'm going to use the lute to try to strike off the material and get a nice, even patch. Notice that it doesn't matter if the material drops inside the Court Maid, because we'll be able to clean that out later. Okay, once again, I'm going to start using my tamper to tamp down the existing material. Notice I'm going right across the frame as I do it. Likely after completing this, especially in this big area here, I'm going to need to fill in a little additional material. Best to do this dry, and then we'll wet it down to finish it off. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add some more material in here. And then to repeat the process of striking it off with the lute and tamping it down until I have a good solid layer that's even with the Court Maid itself. Okay, I'm going to wet it down just slightly, just enough to take the color out. Okay, as you can see, we're almost complete here. One thing I want to do before I put our grate back on is you'll see that these beams that go across to hold the grate have accumulated some screenings and some Har-Tru. I'm going to go ahead and scrape those off into the space below. And now I'm ready to put the grate on. And as you can see, the process is complete. The Court Maid sets nicely in the court surface. And it's a great place to deposit your court material and keep from taking it back into your pro shops, cars, houses, and other places. This is the Court Maid. If you have any questions about it, contact us at www.leetennis.com is our website, or email us at hartru@leetennis.com.
Okay, got it.